guys, welcome back to my channel. Notice anything different over here? I have nothing in my brows right now, so basically a week ago I tried this new brow liner from Makeup Forever in my brows, and the response I got was like, I really didn't think anyone would notice my brows were different. Like, I didn't even think I noticed. Well, I did. I felt they were a little, you know, they're a little popping the day I did it. And when I posted the picture on Instagram, everyone was like, we need a brow tutorial, so that's why I'm here. So first, I'm gonna start by brushing the brows up. This is just a Makeup Forever brow brush. I'm brushing the hair straight up on both sides. Now my brows are like not even right now. Like, I need to probably get them professionally done. I've been just doing them myself, which they could be better, you know? Whenever I brush my brows up, the goal here is to make sure that all the hair is the same length, and you could see there's some pieces that are a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna go through with my scissors. And obviously, if you don't trust yourself to do this, you probably shouldn't. But I've been doing this for a while. So I'm just gonna cut just a little bit off the top, just so that the top of my brow is even. Chop, 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 chop. Also, my brows tend to get pretty square right here. You can see right chaw. So I'm just gonna cut the corner just so that it looks a little bit more natural and isn't as square and like blocky, you know? Just kind of brush off the hair. And again, if you don't trust yourself with the scissors, definitely don't do this at home. My brows grow so fast that I have to like tweeze them and cut them like at least twice, sometimes 3 times a week. So I'm gonna first dip my Smith 205 brush into the Chocolate Dip Brow by Anastasia. And really you wanna make sure, you guys can kinda, you wanna get enough so that it coats the brush. And I always kinda like grab a lot with the brush and then use the lid to kind of wipe off some of it. And then as I'm applying, I'll dip it back into the lid right here. You wanna make sure you have like a nice, even amount on both sides of the angled brush. So I always start on the bottom of my brow just because I feel like it creates like a nice frame and just guide for me to get the, you know, the slayage, you know, I need. So first, place your brush in the middle of the brow. I always start here because wherever you first place the brush, that's where you're gonna get the most pigment. So if you start here, it might be too dark. So it's good to just start at the center of the brow. And I'm drawing little lines and I'm working my way to the outside. So my hair is black, you guys, but I never, ever do black products in my brows. It's just too dark. I think it's just too much. That's just my opinion. I feel like if you have dark hair, you should go like a little bit lighter than your hair color when you fill in your brows. So whenever I fill in my brow, the key is to kind of get one smooth line. Like, you never want it to like be smooth here and then all of a sudden like curve up and then back down. Like, no. So I just try and keep the line nice and smooth. Nice little arch there. Now I'm gonna fill in the brows. So I'm keeping the brush flat and I'm just kind of brushing the product through the hair, kind of in an upward direction. You always want to apply the product in the direction that your hair grows. So just up, 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 up. And when I get towards the nose, I really just try and push the product up, starting from the bottom, so it's not like too dark and heavy. So if you don't have a lot of brow hair, I would suggest moving the angled brush so that the longest part is facing downwards, and then kind of just draw like little, you know, little lines up like this. Fill it in. So I'm not exaggerating the shape at all right now. I'm just like filling in my natural shape. I mean, this kind of looks nice like this. This is like a natural brow, but you know, I'm not really the natural type. So. This is cute though. I actually like how this looks. Of course I do updated brow tutorial and then I barely put anything in. I'm like, oh, that looks good. So next, you really want to kind of shape the top of the brow. So what I'm going to do is, Again, start kind of halfway through the brow at the top, and I'm just drawing a line all the way across the top. And I'm using where my natural hair stopped as a guide. I actually think I kind of made them a little thicker, but that's okay. Sometimes I make the outside a little too thick, and I'll just get concealer and kind of just wipe it straight down to get that nice crisp arch. Yeah, my brows are like super arched right now. A little more than I like. This brow seems to be like a little thinner, so I always have to kind of exaggerate the arch on this side, just so they match. I always recommend getting them professionally done just so that they're even, because I feel like it's so hard for us to kind of look in the mirror and make sure they're even. I always recommend getting them professionally waxed or threaded or whatever, just so that, you know, you're not like really creating the shape yourself. Like, I kind of just have been touching it up for like the past year basically. It's about time for me to get my brows done, real talk. So I'm just filling in this brow just like I did with the other. Whenever I do my brows, one always turns out like a little darker than the other, a little more arched. Like, they're never ever the same, which is fine. Like, I've accepted it. I've grown to just love how different they are, you know. Even when I get them waxed, to be honest with you, they'll be the same for about a cool 2 weeks. And then after that 2 weeks, one just starts doing its own thing, you know? Like, they want to be independent of one another. So just like with the other side, drawing a line at the top. And I draw the line on top all the way across until basically there's like no hair left. And then that's when I draw the line down to meet the edge of the brow. And I like this brush because it's like super stiff. I hate like flimsy brushes, you know, like it has to be like a really stiff angled brush. And don't worry about like messing up underneath. Like, you can see kind of on this side, it's not like completely straight. I'm just going to use concealer afterward and kind of like clean that up. You know what I mean? Also, make sure, you guys, that you're not bringing this top line. Don't bring it all the way to the inside. It looks a little bit more natural when you stop it right here, you know? Like, there shouldn't be like a harsh line way over here. That's just like not real life, you know? It's just not. Ooh, this looks nice. Now that we filled in the brows, I'm gonna add the Makeup Forever brow liner in number 40. So it kind of looks like a liquid eyeliner. The tip of the brush here is super stiff, so it's easy to control. And yeah, I like it. I kind of feel like there's not a ton of product in the tube because I haven't used it that many times, and I feel like I'm kind of like scooping the sides of it. And this color is kind of like a dark brown. It's not a black. So again, same thing with this. I'm going to start on the outside of the brow, and I'm just going to fill it in just so that when I add product towards the front here, it looks natural and like the color matches and whatnot. This is also great if you have like missing hair and maybe like the cream or powders don't stick, or even pencils. This is great for that. Actually, I find that I don't like using pencils as much because I feel like it pulls out my hair. Like, when I'm filling in my brows, I feel like it's pulling out my hair at the same time. Maybe it's just me, but that's kind of how I feel. So here's where the magic happens. So I'm gonna start right about halfway, I guess. I'm just gonna draw little lines up. And my hair is a little thicker over here, so you can't really like see it as much. Draw little lines up, little lines up. And I have a pretty steady hand. If you don't, you can always like, you know, rest your pinky somewhere like here or like here, whatever you gotta do. It's almost like you're feathering it up. You can see these, like this liner, it gives the illusion that you have hair here, you know? So if you don't have a lot of hair, if you just draw those little lines up, it gives that kind of natural brow effect. It looks like, you know, you can see each piece of hair. I like it. I also kind of feel like, I don't know if there's like a setting product in here, but I do feel like the product hardens a little bit, and it kind of just like makes my brows, I guess, it seals them in, you know? The product in here definitely seals in my brows. And you always want to start at the bottom of the brow and draw lines up. And I'm using, I would say, like a light to medium pressure. Like I'm not digging the brow liner into my brows, you know? All right, let's clean up the brows a little bit. So this is MAC NC42 concealer. I like using a lighter concealer to clean up under my brow. This would be like the same color I would use under my eyes. So you can use your under eye concealer under your brows for show. And I'm using the Bobbi Brown Creamy Shadow Brush, which is synthetic hair. I just love using synthetic hair with cream products, you know? So with a really light touch, I'm just using the edge of this brush and I'm going back and forth to kind of clean up this line and sharpen it. Blend a little bit with my finger. Makes it look a little more natural. See how it just kind of like cleans up the brow a little bit? And most of the time, you guys, I don't even put product over the concealer. I just do the concealer and that's it. Like I'm so over putting like any type of like light eyeshadow. We're not doing that. Metallic eyeshadow. We're not doing none of that. That sounded so shady, but it wasn't. I don't like putting anything under my brow other than concealer. Dang. Can I say anything without it sounding shady? Like for real, for real? Concealer is also good if like you make your brows too thick or too thin. You can almost use it as like an eraser. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm holding the brush kind of towards the end. That way you can see everything you're doing. Whereas if you hold it here, it's kind of hard to see what you're doing. So hold it at the end. It also helps kind of lighten your touch a little bit. So if you have it here, it's like your pressure is going to be super hard and heavy. Whereas if you hold it towards the end of the brush, you're going to have a lighter touch, which I need because I kind of have like a heavy hand, you know? Clean this brow right up. I don't even think I need to clean up on top. Usually I'll just get the concealer brush and go like this. But I don't think I have to do that. Oh, they came out pretty even. My Mickey Mouse boys. I always have issues with this brow, but they're looking pretty good. And you guys know I like that full brow effect. Like that's like my thing, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like, for myself anyway, to look like the brow is like one solid color. I kind of like how it looks like there's hair there and you can kind of see a little bit of space in between the hair. It just gives that more natural effect to it. I like it. This little pen, you guys, I'm telling you, even if you don't fill in your brows a lot and you just want to enhance the look of the hair, you can just get this little brow pen and just go and draw little lines just to kind of enhance the look of your brows, you know? I like it. I'm glad I found it. Thank you guys for watching my updated brow tutorial. Hopefully you learned a new trick or two. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, comment below. Yes, I read the comments. And last but not least, strut and slay.